Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 64 of the Potable Gamescast. I'm your host, Eowulf. Gives me joined this week by Mass-Off, that's Chris McGilly.
Hello, everyone.
And CW Lanky, Mr. Craig Warren.
Hello.
Can't believe that we didn't tie this into an N64 episode. By the way, I've just realised this. We should have played Mario Kart 64. Craig had done the song.
I could have fucking destroyed both of you just relentlessly.
Right, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So next time.
Pengles is scared of Mario Kart 64, and after the beatdown I gave him last time.
The sad thing is, like, it would require you to turn your Switch on because we could do it online.
Oh, Chris wouldn't do it. He's
But-
scared.
I mean, if we put a gun to his head,
Yeah.
you said you either play it or
I
you
think
wear
you'd
a
rather go on a boat.
or you wear a Man United shirt on a boat, or you play Mario Kart 64 with us.
Against me, yeah.
But anyway, that aside, boys, it's another week. We're into 2023 now. We've thrown off the shackles of the Christmas chocolates and the Link's
I
box
don't know
sets.
if I have. I've got so much, Dave.
I've given it all away. I'm being super healthy diet boy at the moment, so
Yeah. I can't do it.
you don't have
It
the
might
facilities.
last
big man.
me until like Easter, but it was just... still got to eat it.
Bless you. I literally have given it all away. Like I haven't got anything left up here. Like I haven't had
Sensible.
a piece of chocolate in like 5 days. I'm starving myself at this point. I'm making protein smoothies with like fruit and
Nice.
stuff, Craig. Bought a little
Hell yeah.
blender and I'm a different man. Different man. But
Brace
yeah,
the grind, Dave.
I've got you, mate. I've got an operation soon, haven't I? So, but anyway, that aside, let's talk some video games. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
So, Pengy, start us off. What have you bought? What have you been playing this week?
I don't think I've bought anything this week or anything that has turned up at the moment.
What
This
week,
week.
eh? Starting
Yeah.
off 2023 with miracles.
Yeah, so I've not bought anything.
Spoiler alert, it won't last.
Yeah. Then in terms of playing, so a little bit more Fire Emblem Fates on the 3DS. I think I'm now on chapter 25 or chapter 7, so I've almost finished that. It's been a long one. It gets a occasional play now and again. But
Did
it
you
was-
start this like 1997?
Good year.
No, but it was like quite. I was like, what was it, September, or October, or something last year? I was not still going. In that, but I should get that done. I'm hopefully get it done before like Echoes. Well, not Echoes. Encore.
On Gauge.
Engage. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like.
I was like,
thinking
Echoes?
of,
I was like, that came out like 5 years
Even
ago.
I was confused.
yeah. Well, it's
Well,
Echoes.
I was like, you're just naming Fire Emblem games you haven't finished.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of want to get it done before Engage.
There we go, we got that.
Yeah, so that. I played, I think, 3 more chapters of Crisis Core.
Lovely.
I've just got to the point where you meet Aerith for the first time. In that,
Oh, you've got one of the really bad bits of that game coming up.
Dilly dally shilly shally.
So yeah, so some Crisis Core, but and I started today Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 as well, which
Didn't think you were going to hear that today, Craig, did you?
Which I think I'm on mission 8 of like 18, and I only played it for like, I feel like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and like I'm halfway through the campaign already.
Are you playing it on veteran or are you playing it on like
Obviously,
PCD
it's got
faggot
a
mode?
story.
I'm playing on default, the default
Oh,
setting.
Pringles.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going for platinum?
No.
Oh.
I only even unlocked this. This is the thing. I'm on like mission 8, and I haven't unlocked a single trophy.
You don't deserve one playing on bloody default, Chris. You don't deserve
And-
anything. You should
and-
lose trophies or gamer score whatever you're playing it on for doing it.
It's not playing on
Yeah, I'm playing
Xbox,
on.
is it, Craig?
I'm playing on PlayStation.
Why have
5.
you even put that out into the world? It's more
Yeah,
like to play
I'm
on
playing-
Steam
I
Deck.
assumed it was something they mugged off of Simon. Poor Simon had bought it again or something.
Yeah, Simon did buy it, but I'm playing on PlayStation 5.
Wait, did you buy it as well?
No, I'm renting it.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, so I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. Where the
So
DualSense.
you spent money to rent a game,
Yes.
to play it on default,
Yeah.
you get no trophies.
Well, I will get some trophies. There's a trophy for finishing the game, so I'm gonna get at least one.
So what you're saying is you're lowering your completion percentage. This is all things I like
This
to
is
hear.
the thing. This will learn my computer. And I
Losing money.
I seen the the PlayStation 5 trophies YouTube channel, and they did the top 5 easiest. They had a bit of caveat. They weren't allowing any like stroke the dogs and stuff and that in
Your
there.
games.
But they also did the top 5 hardest, and I think Modern Warfare 2 was the number 2
Wow.
Thinking top five hardest of 2022. I think number one they gave to Elden Ring, even though it actually has a high completion, but that's going off
That's because the
topic.
people that play those games are insane.
Literally
Yeah,
was about to say the same for a game that I'm playing, so I'll hold that thought, Craig.
yes, I'm playing Call of Duty DualSense. Very good use of the DualSense and like the triggers and stuff like that. Just started that today, and then the only other thing, and I finished the main story, clocking in 19 hours of Babylon's Fall.
They
That's
said it
19
can be
hours you
done.
won't get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can say I finished that game before it closes. I was gonna go to platinum, but I'm like the grind. Like there's one for get 1 million and like the gold in the game. Like I've got like 400,000, so the 600,000 gold still. It's one for getting 100 legendary like items. I think I got like 26 or something, so that's a lot. So that's a lot of replaying other missions and stuff in the game to get those sort of two trophies. Those would be the two like sort of pain. There's a couple that others I haven't got, but I would get them by going for those two sort of trophies, sort of thing. But yeah, I actually thought it was actually quite good. Maybe I think I talked about it last week. Maybe because they've changed because the game's closing, like there's no battle pass and stuff like that, and the drops might be better. Like I got 26 legendaries maybe when it was originally come out. Finished the game, you only got one legendary or something like that. So maybe it's changed, but a great little community and a couple of people who actually helped me, like on the game, playing like like playing it as a multiplayer. Like it's not called obviously a fire team like Destiny, but that sort of thing. So it's actually was really good time. And the combat's great. It's platinum type combat. So if you like platinum combat, this is got it's got that. So that's what I've been playing. So I finished that. Playing some Call of Duty now.
Lovely, Chris.
Yeah.
Lovely. So we'll go before we get to Game Pass King over there. We'll do mine quickly. As for what I've bought this week, I've been on a little bit of a Legend of Heroes binge, and I've picked up Trails from Zero and the two Cold Steel games. But I'm playing Trails from Zero at the moment, which is a JRPG. Craig, you'll be pleased to hear. I know you love when I talk about JRPGs.
Yeah, you'd lost me completely then.
Yeah, right. So this series is one of those that I've dabbled in briefly before on Vita with the Cold Steel game when it came to Vita, like, was that 2015 or whatever it came over here?
Yeah, I've got the first one, I think, on Vita.
Yeah, the first and the second one came to Vita over here many moons ago. But it's one of those, it's a really fascinating series because every single game is a canonical linear story. So, like when people say, oh, for Final Fantasy, you don't have to play 3 to have played 12. That's not the case with Legend of Heroes. You need to play all of them because it all links, all the characters combine. And so they've recently been re-releasing them and actually bringing them to the West. So I picked up Trails from Zero, which came out September last year, which is a PSP game, obviously on PS4. I think I paid $33 for it in the end, and I'm loving it. I'm about 4 hours in, and it is great. Story-wise, the big thing with these series is that the story's mental. Like every NPC has a name and has like genuine stuff to say. It's not one of those games where you talk to a shopkeeper and they're just like, hi, buy, sell. Whereas like everyone has stuff to do. And it has all that persona-y goodness of like getting to know characters as well. And yeah, I'm absolutely in love with it at the moment. Like I played about 4 hours straight and I'm just like, yep, this is for me. So hopefully I can get that done. Has some of the worst trophies, Craig, you'll ever see. Some of the worst. There's a trophy for getting to level 50, but then there is also a trophy for beating the game under-leveled at level 40. Like a specific trophy for beating the game under-leveled. And I was like,
it sounds like the Chris McGilly trophy, that does.
Well, honestly, and then there's a game for doing it on hard, which is not a Chris McGilly trophy, and lots of missables. So it's literally never going to get platinum because there's so many of these games that once I finish this one, the sequel to this one comes out in February. I think the last day of February. So if I like this,
Azure, isn't it? Is it
Azure? Yeah,
one
Trails from Azure. So that's when I'll probably almost certainly pre-order if I finish this. So that's kind of what I've been playing on PlayStation. Obviously, we're going to talk about later in the show what my plans for the year is. And the only other game I have been playing, courtesy of the bank of Craig Warren, is Kirby in the Forgotten Land, which I think I'm on the last world. Like I literally think I'm on the last world. I think world 8, something like that. Just an incredible fun game, really. Like it's one of those games. It's like it's kind of not special in any way. And that's probably Kirby's problem, but like it's just fun. Like it's a good platformer. It looks nice. It runs well. I'm having fun playing it. Like I've done most of the challenges. I've tried to get the quick times on all the challenges as well, which is kind of rewarding, and get all of the upgrade stuff. Like it's just a fun game. So I've been playing that on my Switch. I've been very impressed with it. Yeah, I think had I played that last year, I definitely would have voted it on my top 10 list. Which means it probably would have gone up a little bit higher. Probably would have fought off a Pokemon game off our top 3, I think.
You could have done the world a service there, Dave, if you let us know.
Right, but it's it's me. I don't play games when they come out, unfortunately. So but yeah, really fun game. Highly recommend it to people if you've got a Switch and you want to play a platformer. I think you can't really go wrong with Kirby. I mean, if Craig's played it, it can't be that bad, can it? So,
I think it was like Jeff Grubb's Game of the Year or something like that as well.
Yeah, it's a good game.
That's a seal of approval.
Yeah, it's a fascinating game. I think it gets forgotten about quite quickly. But like I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed Mario Odyssey, like a lot more. So it's like okay, different-ish games, but like yeah, I'd be like if Craig were ever to turn his Switch on again, I'd be curious to see what he thinks of Mario Odyssey in comparison. But yeah, I don't think I've played anything. Obviously on Xbox, I'm still plugging away at Crisis Core, a little bit behind Pengy. Game's still great. I don't really know what to say. It's difficult with Crisis Core because I have played it before. So I've got much less of a will to sort of drag myself to it as opposed to playing Trails of Zero, which I haven't played before. But yeah, it's a great game. And I've played a little bit of WRC Generations on Xbox, and I've actually returned it. That's how much I didn't like it. And unfortunately, I got an achievement on it. So that's what I'm saying.
Brutal.
Yeah, honestly, it's basically no different to the one I played that's 2 past. So it was 9, 10.
I think they've got a reputation for that, though. I think they've got a reputation for releasing the same game over
a crazy amount. And then like the stuff they've added is just not fun. Like it's just not a fun game. So I was like, you know what, I'll return this, get my 27 quid back, and buy something else, which is what went towards Trails from Zero. So I've gone back to playing WRC 9. So I'm just annoyed that I've got the one achievement for Generations because it's just going to sit there now. But yeah, hopefully EA will do better, which I'm sure they will because Dirt is great. But yeah, that's all I've played. Craig, what have you been playing?
So, I have finished Crisis Core now.
Hashtag sponsored. Thank you. Carry on.
Yep. I'm sure you're giving a code for that. I spoke a lot about it last week, so I won't speak too much about this week. I think I said last week that the story was kind of... I was going in and out of it. Times when I was actually engaged and times when I was just kind of a bit meh on it. I will say the end is brilliant.
Oh, yes.
But then I do love that sort of ending. I don't want to spoil it, even though the game's God knows how old at this point.
I mean, that spoiler is even in the original game, so it's not even...
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
God.
Yeah, ending's brilliant. Oh, my PC wants to update. No,
how dare it?
Yeah, not now. So yeah, I finished that one. So I really like the ending. I did give it... I don't normally say what I give games on True Achievements, but as we got review codes, I gave it a 4 on True Achievements out of 5, which for Chris is an 8 out of 10. So I think that's pretty much where OpenCritic is on it, so I pretty much just agree with the consensus, to be honest with you. I did find... I think it ended at pretty much the perfect time for me as well, because I was just starting to get a little bit bored of the combat. I was just starting to get the random engagements popping in and out was just started to like grow for me a little bit, and then it ended. So it was kind of like the perfect time. I think it took me about 17 or 18 hours. So definitely one worth picking up. I'm assuming it's a full price game.
Yeah, it's a £50 game. I wouldn't pay that for it personally.
No, I would probably wait until it's like 25, 30 or something like that. Get it in a sale. I finished that. The dog is going mental. And I started High on Life on Game Pass, which is obviously very on brand for me. Dave is right. The start of this game is amazing. It's very funny and very well done. I will say, I thought this was just going to be like a comedy game, and then the gameplay and everything else was really rubbish on this, just from like reviews and what people said about it. But even without like the comedy, I would say it's like actually a good game.
Yeah.
Like it everything works. It's a little bit framey at times, but not like barely noticeable. It looks beautiful. Obviously all the voice acting is very good. A very unique art style. The shooting, obviously, it's not like Doom Eternal, like first-person shooting, but it's also like I've played much worse like
Yeah. It
shooting
also
games.
starts really slow with the shooting, so when you get more guns
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
powers, it does get more fun.
So I've just done the second boss,
Oh,
which is actually the third
Is
boss.
that the drill guy?
No, I'd say I did it the wrong way round because you can get a
You can choose the order, can't you? Yeah.
yeah. There's a missable achievement if you do it the wrong way round, basically.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. True achievements do have a missable achievement guide, so I would recommend popping that up
I'm
for anyone
awful
who's
for
playing.
remembering these guides, by the way. Like, I did the same in Crisis Core, and I was like, oh, that's definitely missable. I should have saved before. It was you're there ready, prepared. And I'm like, oh, for
Oh
Christ's
yeah,
sake.
yeah. Oh, I will say as well about Crisis Core, it's fairly brutal with achievements.
Yeah.
Because I got most of the missable achievements on Crisis Core, and I still only finished with 400G.
Yeah. I'm going to be sitting in the 200s, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Which is actually, I mean, that's 35 of 51 achievements. So it
There's
keeps
a
it.
lot tied to, like, doing all the missions.
Yeah,
And a lot tied to then... Because a lot of the missions have specific trophies. Sorry, achievements. So, like, I think, like, mission 280 is killed this secret boss, and that's one of the achievements. So,
but
yeah.
that secret boss is also hard as fuck.
Yeah, and it's also like you really.
Yeah.
I think most of the remakes on them as well. You have to do that in hard mode,
Yeah,
which
there
is
is
the
a
big
hard
problem
mode
with the platinum for remake on PS5. Is like, yeah, you can do this final boss only in hard mode though. And you're like, oh fuck you. How about that?
So I did actually finish looking at this with a 69% completion percentage on my
Nice.
Crisis Core. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna keep going high on life. I'll go back and do the bosses in the wrong way round. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm really surprised about how just good of a game it is. It's kind of got like Metroidvania kind of aspects to it. And you unlock the new weapons. I just unlocked like a weapon which is kind of like the Needler from Halo, basically.
Okay.
It's the best way
Yeah,
to
you get a
describe
weapon
it.
that helps traversal quite early on as well.
Yes.
Basically makes platforms for you and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's quite a deceivingly good game. I think it came out at a really inconvenient time for like reviews and stuff, but I don't understand why people are giving it like 4s, but I think they just don't get it.
But I also don't think I don't think Squanch really cares given the engagement that it's had. Because I think it's the best ever single player Game Pass release now.
Which is mental when you think about
Which
the
is
games that come to Game Pass.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on True Achievements. They put up their like 2022 Game of the Year like stats. So like, it shows like the top 10 number because it was based on the votes. So like the top 10 number 1 picks, number 2 picks, blah blah blah. And then they got other stats. I think again, it's only using the people that obviously signed up for True Achievements, but it was the number 1 played Game Pass game. So thinking, considering it only came out in December as well, you can imagine
it's a
the
very
whole year.
Xbox game. Like it's a shooter.
And then
it's Western.
and
It's funny, you know.
Yeah, and it was like in the top. I think it might be like number 1 or number 2 of like played games in general on Xbox. It might be like it number 1 in Elden Ring 2 or the other way round or something, and then obviously the top Game Pass game. So a lot of people have played it. So
I wouldn't be surprised if
would not
Xbox throws some money.
Yes, exactly. I was about to say. Although I do imagine their market value just went flying up because of all of this. So
yeah, it would be wise for them or PlayStation to lock them down because they do a lot of VR work as well.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, like I also feel like he doesn't really need the money, so he also might be like, yeah, no, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, fun ass game.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it
you
for
just
me.
think that was originally going to be a Stadia exclusive.
That could have been like the killer app on Stadia, and they didn't.
I think we could do a whole episode about the fucking what Stadia should have done, but not having any bollocks was their biggest crime. Really, that was their biggest crime. They just kept a little bit of faith. I don't think it would have been as bad. Anywhere near as bad, actually.
Yeah,
but
it is crazy. Like, what a turn of events for Microsoft to end up basically with that game, and for it to do as well as it has.
What excites me is that's exactly what's happened with this Kojima game.
It's the same as well. The rumored titles Overdose. That was originally going to be a Stadia exclusive.
Exactly. So they've basically inherited this half-made game for like no money.
So yeah, mad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kojima loves Xbox. Just need
Yeah.
Death Stranding 3 to come to exclusively to Xbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that all you played, Craig? I presume you've not bought anything because you're Craig Warren.
No, I've not bought anything.
Will you buy a game
I'm
this year? That's the.
Well, that could be one of our predictions when we talk about we're doing over under on whether I buy more games or less this year.
What did you buy last year? 2? Didn't we settle
2 on
on
Xbox. Yeah, I spent £30 on games on Xbox last year.
And how many games did you buy on Switch?
Oh, God knows.
5? Because you haven't
5 or
played the one you
6.
bought off me.
No.
I've got 2
Or
of
the
yours.
one you bought off me. So yeah.
Do you know what, Craig? That actually transitions perfectly into our topic of the show. Tots. So we couldn't really think of like a proper tots. It's too early. There's not enough news, and I don't really want to talk about the Activision Blizzard acquisition ever. So
No, God no.
we're going to talk about kind of our plans and dreams and hopes for the year. And we'd like to do this. Me and Chris have done separate videos before on the channel of like what we'd like to achieve and what we'd like to get for trophies and stuff. But we're just a sort of a general chat about what kind of things we want to do. So I'm going to make it easier for you two. I'll start off. So I have made.
We know you've got quite a few plans. So.
Quite a few. I've always got plans. I never fulfill half of them, but you got a plan, right? So I've made like a list on my Mac, #AppleLife, of like a list of backlog games or games that I own or games that have come into Game Pass, basically that I want to play this year, and I'd like to finish this year. Not for any particular reason, just like I like having like a little bit of a curation, so I kind of have a bit of a. I've got a terrible habit, and Chris has this as well, where we'll watch something and then buy 20 games.
Yes.
So like I don't want to do that this year because I've got a lot to save for this year. Like I'm working on lots and lots of things.
You say that, but did you just buy like 4?
That's
Trails
why
games?
I did it pre the new year, Chris. So they'd all turn up. But anyway, so I'm going to go through the list. I've put it in console order. So we'll start with the retro-y stuff. So on the 3DS, I've got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, the updated version. Link Between Worlds, which I've actually never played. Mario 3D Land. I watched Ray recently, Craig, so this is why these are on here. And Ocarina of Time 3D.
Nice.
So,
Mate, is Ocarina of Time not 3D to start with? Or?
3D as in it's on the 3DS.
Oh, I see.
So so if it was on
improved the graph.
yes, if it was on Wii U,
improved
it would be
graphics.
Ocarina of Time HD. Like it's got improved graphics and stuff. But I've never played that one. I played Majora's Mask. It's one of my favorite ones. I own all these games. I just haven't played them. Wii U is a much shorter list, but it's still on here, Craig. Don't worry. Bayonetta 2 and Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
Nice.
Until
The thing is, I was going to say, wait, Twilight Princess HD on the Switch. But
So
we've
one
been
of the
for
other
that for ages.
one of the other things I also want to do this year is I don't want to buy games that I already own.
Yeah, I was about to say, surely just play it on the system.
It's
you
like
have it on.
I own a Wii U. Like I love my Wii U. It's going to look almost identical, if not identical, to a Switch port. So, you know what I mean? That's why I haven't bought Bayonetta 2 on Switch, for example. I just play the Wii U version I have.
That is one of your two's like biggest crimes, is buying ports and remasters of games that you've already either played or owned and then not playing them.
Yeah,
That is,
so like that's
Chris could probably name like 25 of them just
per
from
year.
like the last couple of years. Yeah.
Which is why I literally do not want to do that this year. Like, not once. I don't once want to buy a game I already own. Like, and to be honest, I don't want to buy a game I've already played. I don't mind playing, like, so for example, on the Xbox list, I've got Persona 4 and 5, which I have played before, but they're on Game Pass. So, you know what I mean? It's like,
Do you bend the rules? Use me, for instance. I know you're not going to play this game, but Silent Hill 2 remake.
well, no, because that's a remake, not a remaster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not
saying
just
if...
a port,
yeah.
is it? It's
Yeah, like, it would be like if you were like, for example, like, I'm going to buy The Last of Us Part 1. When you've already played it twice, and it's not that. It's a remaster. It's pretty much the same.
Tactics Soda, is it Reborn? Perfect example.
Yeah, if
You're
you've
never
played that
gonna play
before, like
that.
I've never played it, but I'm not gonna buy that. But let's get through this. So we're on Xbox. The Xbox games on here. Interesting list, I think, for Craig here. Sonic Colors, which I've owned since it came out, just haven't played. Crash
Is
4.
that the one that recently, came out fairly recently?
No, Sonic Colors is it's the one before the newest one. It's the remake of Sonic Colors.
Yeah.
I never played Sonic Colors because I didn't play the Wii when I was younger.
I thought that one, because it came out last year or the year before. The year before, wasn't it?
It's supposed to be
Yeah,
good.
I thought that one looked really good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. I've had it for ages. I think it was like a £25 like digital. This is when I still had my Xbox Series S. So like I have that. I have Crash 4, which I got in a sale on the Series S. I literally have never. I think I've installed it. I've never played it, not once. If I loaded up Crash 4, brutal completion, so I won't be doing that. But just want to play it. Halo Infinite. Never played more than 20 minutes of the single player of Halo Infinite. Big Halo fan. So there is co-op now. That's its biggest hope, Craig.
Yes, you're cut up. It's all there now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all ready.
I also got DBZ Kakarot, which I got in a sale, and they're actually doing a Series X free upgrade for it this month, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the 18th of January.
That's me purchasing a game in a sale's paying off yet again. And the last game on the Xbox is Story of Seasons Mineral Town, which I talked about last episode.
No Psychonauts 2, Dave. You're a madman.
Psychonauts is funny, right? Because I should love Psychonauts 1 and 2, but 1 and 2 I've tried to play so many times, and I just get to the point where I'm like, I kind of know. I just don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't
amazing.
Hook me. I liked what I played, but it just didn't hook me. But I think I'm struggling very much with moderately difficult platformers, and nowadays, Kirby was easy and I've loved it, but Ratchet and Clank have been a bit of a grind for me, and I'm like, why am I used to love platformers, so I don't really get. Am I getting old and slow, Craig?
You could be. But you could be.
So let's finish this off with the last two consoles. So PS5/PS4, because obviously the aforementioned Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm not far from the end. I'd like to finish that. We've got the big list of stuff which is not going to happen, but I've just put it on here anyway. Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and Horizon Forbidden West. If I beat any of those this year, I'd be well impressed. The Trials of Zero, which I'm playing right now, and Ys Lacrimosa of Dana, which is a game that me and Chris have picked up in a sale, which is a action RPG as opposed to a turn-based RPG. Because I knew Craig was immediately going to know what the Ys series was, but
is that the ones that are spelt just YS?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen them. I feel like I've seen them before.
If they were on Xbox, I think you would actually quite enjoy them.
Yeah, because they're kind of like top-downy, isometric,
So the older ones are. The newer ones are much more like. What's that game that you like? Scarlet Nexus, that kind of angle.
Oh yeah.
And Nier. Okay, Nier is a way better example. There's that type of game, but a little bit more RPG, so a little bit more stat heavy, but not random encounters, not that kind of stuff. From the same company that makes Legend of Heroes, so.
Yeah.
Also, I've watched Happy Console Gamer for about 10 years on YouTube, and it's his favourite series. He talks about them all the time. I've never played, apart from Cell Setter, which came to Vita. I haven't played any of them. So I've recently put all of them on PS4 and PS5. So again, none of these games are on Xbox, which is frustrating, but they never have. That's why I don't shit on them as much as I shit on Square. But maybe one day. The last section is the Switch section. So I've got Kirby, which I'll probably finish this week. Lady Layton, which is the newest Layton game I talked about last week. I'm genuinely looking forward to playing that because I haven't played a puzzle game in ages. Sonic Frontiers, we'll see. Luigi's Mansion 3. Tears of the Kingdom, because it's the only game on here that I don't own that I will own. Paper Mario 64 off of the Super Nintendo Classic section bit. And also Earthbound, because I've never finished Earthbound. Again, I'll play that via the SNES thingy, the NSO, that's what it's called. So yeah, that's my little list. Your thoughts on any of those games, I guess?
So it's a lot of games. It's an ambitious list.
A lot of games.
I think if you do a quarter of that, then that's well done.
So last year I finished 23 games, and I don't include. So the opposite. When I say 23, I don't include anything under 2 hours. So it's probably about 30 if you use Chris rules. So I beat about 23 games last year. So my aim would be to beat around 15 to 20 of relatively length but enjoyable games. What I don't want to do this year is waste my time on, we've said earlier, I don't want to waste my time on games I've already played. I don't want to waste my time on games that I was never going to enjoy. You know what I mean? So for example, if I were to be you know what, I'm going to play Elden Ring, I'd be why have I wasted any time with a thought that I'm going to enjoy that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to get back into JRPGs because I like them. I've always liked them. I just never finished them. So I want to finish some games, and I'm curious with this year as well. I'm not making any achievement or trophy goals because you can get dragged into the dirt when you start doing that.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to do that this year. So I'm not doing any of those kind of goals. I would love to get to 150,000 G, and I'd love to get to 60 platinums, but I'm not dragging myself down with it.
Yeah, that's like, well, I'm normally very unambitious with like completions and like gamer score targets because you're
Yeah.
right. It's such better to just let that naturally happen and then just enjoy what you're playing as opposed to aim for that because yeah, you can very quickly end up playing stuff that you don't really want to be playing and then you're like, I'm not enjoying this. Why am I doing it? It's a
Yeah.
slippery slope. Go for
Yeah,
that
why am
sort
I
of thing.
buying Foxyland 1 and 2? Like, you know what I mean? Why am I doing this? Like,
Yeah.
why am I pre-ordering My Name is Mayo 3? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening here? Yeah, and I really think this year for me is, like, it's a very different, this is a very adult thing to say, but, like, it's a very different transition year for me this year. Because I had a lot of stuff happen last year, and this year is more, like, building, like, I'm getting a knee operation at the end of the month. Like, me and my partner are going to America for 2 weeks. Like, we want to get a house together. Like, I'm trying to get promoted at work. Like, all this kind of stuff I'm doing in the next 12 months. I'm learning to drive. Like, I don't want my life to be completely taken over by the need for me to get 2 platinums this weekend or I'm going to miss a target. So it's kind of just like, just enjoy the games. All these games I've listed, like I said, I own most of them. The fun ones are the ones I want to play. Like, I want to play my 3DS while I'm on a 12-hour flight. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like a good reason to play Mario 3D Land. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to take I'm not going to do a Chris and buy a Steam Deck for a flight. You know what I mean? So, like, I'll play my 3DS. My problem is my Switch, mate. I think it will break because it's really unreliable in handheld now. Like, it really struggles to recognize both Joy-Cons at the same time when it's attached to the console. So it's kind of just turned into, because obviously mine's a day one launch Switch. Like, it's kind of just turned into a TV console. Which is why the Switch list is not that full of games, to be honest with you. Like, the main one I'll play in handheld is Lady Layton, and that's a touchscreen game in the most part. So, like, I would put more RPGs on the Switch, but I just don't trust it to work until the end of the year. And unless they announce a new machine, I'm not buying a Switch OLED. Like, I'll buy, if there's a Switch 2 with a sequel, then I'll buy that, but I'm not buying. I don't think that's happening this year anyway, right?
Who knows?
No,
But
God, no.
but yeah, that's me. So have you guys been inspired by this chat? Is there any sort of games that you know that, like, let's start with Craig, because Craig's always the best of us. Is there any games you know that are on Game Pass or come into Game Pass that you're, like, really desperate to play? Is there anything that isn't that you might buy, like, that kind of thing? Obviously, we know. I'd love to hear about your just general thoughts about your Switch as well, to be honest with you.
So I did my own list.
Hell yes.
I did a 10 game list. And I split it. So I did 5 on Game Pass and 5. I've done it all as like backloggy games basically as well. I've kind of left stuff that's coming out because we did our whole like
We did do an
anticipated
anticipated games list.
Yeah. So I've done 5 on Game Pass and then 5 that I could like see myself picking up if I get like a lull where like I've finished some stuff on Game Pass that I want something else, or if I see something in a sale because I do have some vouchers to use and that sort of thing. So we'll start with the Game Pass ones. I've gone for Metal Hellsinger, which is like a rhythm-based Doom clone sort of thing with a lot of metal music, and they've got a lot of like metal, very famous metal singers in it as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing that. And it's not very long as well. I don't think that one. I think it's like 4 hours long.
Hell yeah.
So I can see myself getting to that straight after High on Life. I put Lego Star Wars on. Kind of just like I want to try it after Dave's take from a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. I'm going to be really interested to see what you think of it, because I would say I wasn't impressed at all.
No, and I haven't played a Lego game in ages. I used to love it. Like, me and my brother used to play the old Lego Star Wars games like all the time.
Yeah, so me and my girlfriend played Lego Incredibles not that long ago, so I think that probably coloured our opinion.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. To kind of giving it a go. Although it is hard to get excited for it because obviously the newer Star Wars films were rubbish. The prequels are fairly rubbish. So it's like, I'm going to be playing a lot of this and it's just going to be about films that I don't like.
The problem with the
That's hard
prequels
to get
is they're
excited.
retroactively better than they actually are. So, like, the prequels aren't that great, but, like, all the stuff since about the prequels is good. So, like, all of, like, the Clone Wars show and all that stuff has made it seem like it's much better.
Yeah, the stuff that isn't the actual movies. Yeah.
And all that stuff I think is paid extra on that game. Like, the characters from, like, the Mandalorian and stuff, like, you can get them. I'm pretty sure it's a paid extra thing.
Yeah, because weren't they going to add like DLC for like Rogue One and stuff like that? Have
Yeah,
they done
I think
that,
they did
or...
add it. I think it's, but I don't know if it's just characters or not. I'm not sure. But again, I don't like the game, so I won't be looking.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get to that. Praise, another one. I had that in my backlog list from last year. I really want to give that a go at some point. another Arcane game. I've not played enough Arcane games, and everyone that I play, I really enjoy. So that just makes sense. Pentiment is another one for the Game Pass list. I want to give a go. I don't know if it's going to be my sort of shit, to be honest with you, but I want to at least give it a go on Game Pass. And that would be such a perfect one if they ever did like a handheld sort of thing as well. I could see myself playing that in bed, chilling
Hell
for like an hour a night or so. Do you know what I mean? And then the last one for the Game Pass list, I put Signalis, which was the like retro horror game. It came out quite late last year. Um, which again,
That
I don't
always
know.
that always looked really good.
Yeah, it does look really good. It's really cool, but again, I don't know if it'd be too like retro inspired for me. But it's on Game Pass, so
was that
it's
Chained
like it's
Echoes? Did you say?
no Signalis.
Signals. Okay, Chained Echoes is one that I would absolutely put on my list if I didn't think I was going to play 600 JRPGs.
Yeah.
That
So
ended
that
up
was
being like the third best game of 2022 or something.
what,
On
Chained
Open Critic.
Echoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's one that again, like if they did it a handheld, maybe I'd give it a go.
Well, the Edge thing's been announced. I think it's 26th of January. If you want to buy
Yeah,
that.
it's really expensive though, and it's like 350 quid or something, or $350, is it? So probably like even
No,
more
it's
than that.
starting
But...
from $400 and yeah,
Obviously,
I think one's $600. One of the versions of it, which seems
Dear
mad.
Lord.
Yeah.
Especially when the Steam Deck is what, like 475?
It's 350
Yeah.
if you go in cheap.
Yeah, if you're going cheap.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
think it's
big
only
ask, isn't
I
it?
think it's only cloud and mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to be more realistic with the price of these cloud handhelds.
Yeah.
'Cause I really don't see
Well,
don't see the market at
is
that
it?
price
I
point.
don't know if it's cheaper than the Logitech one. I remember the Logitech one can't play mobile games, so at least I guess it's got a slightly bigger
But then it's
library.
like,
The Razer one.
like I literally have my mobile and I paid
Yeah.
30 quid for a controller for it, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much the same experience.
It is, yeah, because the Razer thing is it is the keyshis bundled with a screen. That's it.
Wow.
That doesn't
Just buy a
make phone calls or
Samsung
anything.
tablet for £85,
Yeah.
and then get the controllers for 40.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
just it's too expensive for what you're getting these things. And obviously we don't know how much they cost to manufacture, but they need to be like £200 at max. Like
Mm.
any more than that, and it's a massive ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
But moving on to stuff that I could see myself buying from previous years, Destroy All Humans 2 is one that I was really excited about. But I think it came out like September last year, and like there was like 6 games on Game Pass that are added that month that I wanted to play, and then there have been like 6 games added every month from Game Pass that I want to play. So I just never got around to it. I can imagine it's pretty cheap as well already at this
I think
point.
I've seen it for sub 20 brand new.
Yeah, the THQ games normally are fairly cheap, fairly fast. It's also one I could see coming to Game Pass because the first one is already on Game Pass.
Yeah, I'd almost guarantee it, actually. To be honest.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Destroy Humans 2 Reprobed is $19.99 on their Series X on Amazon.
It's not too bad a price to pay for a game when you don't buy games all year.
Exactly, yeah, and it's one that I know I'll enjoy because I absolutely love the first remake. And the second on the buying list, I've got Lost Judgment, which was on my backlog challenge from last year. I've just never had the 40 hours spare in Game Pass to dip in and buy this. Again, one that I'm going to assume is not that expensive to buy at this point. Could come to Game Pass as well, although the first one's still not going to do a Game Pass.
Mm.
Even though I swear they leaked it at some point. £35 it is basically on Series X. Cheaper on PlayStation 4 though, boys, and PlayStation 5. There you go.
Yeah, it's on Plus though on PlayStation.
There you go.
Maybe that's why the price has gone down.
I'll sell the Xbox for the PlayStation, play Lost Judgment that way.
I'd literally lend you mine, Craig. I've told you this before.
No, I'll definitely play on Xbox.
Which one thing obviously did enjoy Judgment, hence we want to play Lodge Judgment. But obviously this year we definitely get Like a Dragon Ishin, and we may get Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Ishin comes out in about 2 weeks, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a problem you're overlooking though. I don't believe there's an English dub for Ishin.
It's set in
Pretty-
Japan as well, which I would like really like feudal Japan. So I would be surprised if they did.
Don't know. I don't know if there is English because it's a
No,
remake. I don't know if they did an English dub or
I
not
don't
on
think they
Microsoft.
have. I'm fairly confident that they've said they have it, which puts me off like straight away because
Mm.
a lot of Yakuza is watching cutscenes, and
Mm.
I just don't want to be reading
Yeah,
subtitles.
I presume Gaiden will be in English, saying it's that after
Yeah, I think it
7
will be.
and before 8 is between 7 and 8. So
Yeah, I definitely think it will be. So I think for me, because I was tempted by Ishin until I learned that, and then I
Mm.
was like, oh well, I still haven't played Lost Judgment, so instead of buying Ishin, I'll just buy Lost Judgment and play that instead because that
yeah.
actually has a dub, and I really like the first Judgment game, obviously. So
Mm.
that made sense for me. Third one is one that I was tempted. I've been tempted to get already because I saw it on sale on the Xbox January sale, and I do have a £25 gift voucher. I think I saw it for 20 quid, and that's The Quarry, which I know Chris played from last year.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's most probably the second best super massive game.
Yeah, I like that sort of game, and sounds like very like classic horror tropes as well, which I'm all about. So I've got to pick that up at some point. Like I said, if I see it in a sale again, I might be tempted because I can't imagine it's that long either. It's
No,
what, like
I
10
think
hours.
it's way longer than like the Dark Pictures ones, but still not particularly long. I think it's like 8-9 hours, something like that. So
And then I've got near Replicant,
Oh
which I
yeah.
might have had on my Game Pass list, like my backlog list from last year. I can't remember.
I can't see that coming to Game Pass.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think it will. But I could. I'm sure I can pick it up fairly cheap
Also,
at this
Craig, just this is a complete aside, the Near Automata anime started yesterday.
point. Ooh,
It's on
what's that on Netflix?
It's on Crunchyroll, which is
Oh, I don't want to.
which is
don't
four
wanna...
$4.99, but has a 2-week free trial.
Well, I'll wait for the whole thing to
Yep, I will
get
let
on
you
it,
know
and then
because I've been watching. I've been catching up on Attack on Titan. So
nice.
yeah, see, I want to catch up on Attack on Times, but I'm waiting till season 4, part 762 comes out.
wow, Pengals with a bite
Christ.
there.
Yeah, but yeah, Near Replicant I want to get to because I absolutely adore Near Automata, and it's still one of the crimes of the world that neither of you have played it. So shame on both of you.
I really
Yeah.
struggle with the fact it's open world. I'll come out and say it. Everything else about the game I really enjoy, but the fact that it's an open world action game, I'm just like, oh, why do I have to play these games? I hate these games.
Although it's more like it's zone based. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say it's like open world.
It's too
It's got
open
like
world
an
for me, Craig.
open like hub.
No, I don't like
there.
it. Just put me in levels, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're gonna hate Halo Infinite then.
Why do you think I haven't played it yet, Craig?
And then the last one I've got on my buying list. One that I really want to pick up, so I thought it looked fun when it came out. I just never got around to it. It's Riders Republic by Ubisoft.
Okay,
I
I forgot that game came out.
Yeah, it's a random one, I know, but I whenever I've seen that game, I just thought it looked really fun. I don't know how much like a single player component it has, so that might be a problem.
I do.
But I can see it.
Go on.
I can see it as being like a fun like secondary racing game I could play for a bit.
I do really recommend Trolls Rising. That always goes on sale for like less than a tenner. I enjoyed that a lot on Stadia. Like I put in like
think I
30
played
hours
that.
on Stadia.
I played some of the Trials games.
Yeah, because Fusion, I don't think people liked that much.
No, I hated Fusion. You're
But,
right.
but
That's just remembered.
Trials is really fun. Trials Rising, sorry, is really really fun. And it's always cheap. Like I always see it in the Xbox sale for well under a tenner. So if you ever see it for like 4 or 5 quid, I'd recommend it. I would recommend actually getting the gold edition when it's like a tenner because there's a lot of content. But yeah, so you brought back a core memory, Craig, of how much I forgot I loved Trials Rising.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Looking on Twitch, I haven't played Trials Rising. I played Fusion. I played
Fusion
the one
they
before
gave
that.
as gold.
Yeah, I
Like
paid
5
for
or
it.
6
Yeah,
years
I was
ago.
really disappointed with Fusion.
Yeah, because I hadn't played them since Trials HD on the 360.
Yeah, that must have been the one that I played. Yeah, on the
And
360,
then
yeah.
they've done like 3 or 4 since then. I didn't play Fusion because I think I got Fusion as gold. Did one level, I was like, feels weird, and then I bought Rising when we were into Stadia, and I was like, this shit's great. Like this shit's fun. Achievements are really random as well.
Yeah, achievements are always hard in those games.
Yeah, it's like there was like half hard and half like you need to look up a guide. And then when you look up a guide, you're like, I didn't even notice that was in the level. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden shit.
Yeah.
So that's it. Was like stuff that I could like want to like play backloggy stuff. In terms of like goals and that, it's only really, I think I got to 50 completions this year, and that was my goal. I could maybe going for 60 completions. And then I am like, what am I on? I think I'm on 180,000 gamer score, boys.
Nice.
And I can't find it now, but I'm pretty sure I got like 22 and a half last year. So I could get to 20.
So you
200.
just need like 5 Game Pass fodder games to come out to really solidify that, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause-
so I could get to. I'm nearly at 181 to be fair.
yeah.
So it's about 19k
A
away.
couple more procession to Calvaries, and you'll be.
All good.
And I'll be there. Yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
right
I'm
there.
pretty much just under 181. So yeah, I could potentially be at 200,000 by the end of the year. But like I said, I'm not gonna like aim for that.
No.
If it happens,
I think it could. I mean, there's a lot of Craig games this year. Like, I think last year there wasn't that many. Whereas this year, like, you've got Dead Space, you've got Resident Evil 4, you've got Jedi Survivor. Like, just off the top of our heads, let alone what's coming to Game Pass. Like, you will play Starfield. We will probably play Redfall. Like, you know what I mean? Forza. There'll be a Forza expansion this year, I suspect. So I think you will probably be all right, big boy.
Yeah.
Minecraft Legends.
Minecraft Legends, me and you will play like we did the other one. Get the 1000G and rock out.
And then just for fun, let's do a how many Xbox games does Craig buy this year? Bearing in mind, obviously I did 2 last year. I think it's gonna be more than that.
So when you say buy, are we including digital purchases?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything that I've bought that basically anything I've played that's not on Game Pass. Anything I've
I think you'll do 5 this year.
5. Right. I'll keep track of this just for the,
I
just for
think
shits and
over.
giggles.
I think over 5 as well, because I think you buy. You emotionally buy, maybe even if you wait until it's like 20 quid or something. Dead Space, Resident Evil, and Jedi Survivor. There's 3 games at least.
Yeah.
And let alone, Riders of the Republic. You see, tomorrow's a tenner, and you got your £25 voucher or something. Without games like that as well, so I can go for at least 3, and then
See, I think at least one of those EA games, Craig will be smart and wait for it to come to Game Pass.
Oh, I don't think I'll be smart with Jedi Survivor.
Jedi, no, Jedi's
honestly.
day one. Like Jedi,
yeah,
you'll buy, but it doesn't come out the same day as Dead Space. No, same day as Resident Evil.
it's a week difference.
It's a week
between
before
it.
or something like
And
that.
you're
yeah.
not stupid. You ain't gonna play 2. You're not gonna spend £100 in 1 month on a game.
Exactly.
Games, are you? So,
Yeah.
No, I think 5. I think 5.
Yeah.
Pengy, give me a number.
I'll go for 6 then.
Ooh,
You
6.
cheap bastard.
Yeah. I'll plump for. I mean, I can influence this, so it's kind of unfair.
Yeah, so yours
I'll
is-
go for 7.
Yours
solid.
isn't included, but yours is a.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you go from 2 to 7, then you've had quite the year.
Yeah, but it's basically 7 or 4 is what's left, isn't
Yeah.
it? So,
So,
I think
Yeah,
I'm more.
and I was thinking like Assassin's Creed Mirage isn't that like 35 quid as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
Pardon?
It's 45 at launch.
Yeah, sort of thing. So, but I know you like the Assassin's Creed series, so it's like Dave's saying, we're getting games in series you like. You now like Resident Evil, so you're going to buy the remake
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that. Where we didn't have that last
I have
year.
such faith in Craig's Game Pass commitment that
Yeah.
like even like this month, like this month that Craig will play is Monster Hunter Rise,
Yes.
and that's gonna take you at least the month, right?
Yeah. That's
So, like-
that's what also because Dead Space is like a week after that, and I was tempted by Dead Space, but I'm also you're 100% right. It's like, well, I'm not going to be finished with Monster Hunter Rise by then.
No.
I imagine I like it.
Well, it's one of those like so if for example me and you got into Monster Hunter Rise, or all 3 of us did, and we did play the whole month. If you decide, actually I want to play more of this, there's a whole expansion you can buy. That's another.
Yeah, although that
$100.
doesn't come for a while for Xbox.
No,
does
but
it?
like you know what I mean.
I
Like
think-
it's
Yeah.
I can't see you buying. Of all the games, this might be controversial. I don't think you buy Dead Space until it either gets under 40 or it comes to Game Pass. And to be honest, with you, by the
Yeah.
time it gets cheap, you might just be like, I can wait.
I might as well wait.
Yeah, I'll play.
Yeah.
I'll play Jedi.
Maybe the only thing is if like a double discount in work or something, it's gone down to 40 or now.
Yeah, yeah,
there'll
it's
be
like
one at Easter or
that-
something.
Yeah, like but even like Easter, you buy that's still 4 months. Like you're probably gonna have Starfield by then, which you as an Xbox Game Pass stan, Craig legally has to play. So it's like
Exactly.
My big
Yeah.
question for you, Craig, and this is the one I want to know, and this is why I've brought this whole podcast. Really, what happens with your fucking Switch this year?
Well, you'll notice, Dave, that list. There's no Switch games, was there?
No. So is it
No.
going to get sold? Because if you're going to
I
sell
can.
it, you need to sell it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you say that, but nothing ever goes down in value in the Switch land, does it?
No.
Depends if that new one gets announced, I suppose.
No, that's not getting announced. That's copium right there that you guys are smoking on.
Hey, I'm the only one here that's not gone out and bought an OLED, so don't look at me like that.
I mean, I can see it getting
gonna be
getting
back
it
in a
sold
second.
definitely. Especially if like something more feasible like Xboxy handheld comes along, and then
Nah,
it's
happening.
gone.
No,
Then
in UK, that's not happening. I think the only way that handheld sitch changes if they make it ludicrously easy to put it on Steam Deck.
yes,
That's
that's
the
100%.
only
That's
way. And even
and
then,
then
I
the
just
Steam
don't
Deck
think
lives
you will.
on for the Pod of War. You
Yeah,
know?
I just don't think that'll break you. Well, I suppose will you even give it the Zelda? Will it get Zelda at least, or will it be gone before then?
When does Zelda come out?
It's
Sorry, Dave.
May.
May. Let me have a look because it's tough. It's tough.
It's May
You've got
15th, something like that, 14th.
May 12th.
May 12th,
So
okay.
you've got Suicide Squad at the end of May, which I can see
Yeah,
me picking
don't
up
be
as
buying
well.
that game full price. As someone who's played some of Gotham Knights, don't be.
Yeah, but
buying
this
it.
isn't bloody. This isn't the B team. This is I have faith, Dave. I have faith in Suicide Squad. It might be misplaced. To be fair, there's not a lot coming out in April at the moment that I can see me like buying / playing. But obviously that could change between now and then. Oh, and didn't we say? Wait a minute. Didn't we say that? Oh, yeah, the leak that Redfall could be the 2nd of May. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that could kill off Zelda right there straight away.
What about Zelda?
Dave was asking if there was any chance.
Well, you still not played Breath of the Wild yet, so
Exactly. You know, the Switch has got to make it to May first. Dave.
Yeah, it's just so curious because, like, I don't know, just because you have it there and you're not one to waste time, so I'm like curious. But
Yeah.
I think you should play Breath of the Wild just so you can join me on the alliance of winding up Chris about it. To be
I
honest,
would love it if Ray didn't like
Hey,
it.
imagine if I hated it, Dave. Imagine that.
we'd end the podcast. I would officially leave Pod of War.
just be Chris
You
babbling
and Chris talking about just general shenanigans. But yeah, so that's your plan is to buy games, play games, and have fun this year, Craig. That's the
Hell yeah!
So
And if
on
I
the-
get to 200 gamer score, then
I think you will. I think that's a guarantee. I think you'll get to 200 this year. I think you and Chris will both get to 200 this year.
I don't know if I will get to 200.
You will. There'll be some cheap shit on Game Pass.
'Cause
There'll be 9,000
think
worth
I've
of short games on Game Pass this year.
Yeah, but I don't know if like this much I will play.
Right,
on Game
before
Pass
we
this
get into
year.
it, Chris, let's go into you, and then we can have a general discussion about the Xbox with you, because I think it's a similar chat to Craig and the Switch. So, Pengy,
Yeah.
tell us what your plans are for the year.
Right, so weirdly, I've not got a list of 10. I've got like 5, and I sort of split them into systems. And I've retro. I have 3DS, oddly like you, Dave, on there. So I don't know because we did on Nintendo Cast episode, and like I talked about brought up like the eShop closing and stuff like that. I don't know if it's that and like sort of thing, but like I've suddenly I've been playing. Like, Fire Emblem. I know I've been playing Fire Emblem Fates since like October, but I've suddenly done like 4 chapters in this week, and I've got other stuff like I've never played Ever Oasis. I've not played Fantasy Life thing. I've still not played Detective Pikachu and stuff like that. So weirdly, I even made on the G name of forum, like my 23 predictions for 2023. I put like a weird one of them's like a weird 3DS like revival for the Switch this year. Like there's rumors of a Kid Icarus return, remaster thing for the Switch, and maybe Detective Pikachu 2 actually does come out in black and white HD. So I've got like this weird like 3DS and like nostalgia at the moment, but that is like the only retro thing I can really see me going back to. Sort of this year, like I would kind of like to still play Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but I would mostly play the Switch version, not the Wii U version. Sort of thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that's 3DS. Well, that's retro. The 3DS is the retro section. On Xbox, there's only really one game on the backlog for Xbox, and that's Plague Tale Requiem. Outside of like Elden Ring, maybe, and maybe the best game that came to Xbox last year.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you want to play Elden Ring. I was going to say,
No.
what on earth?
No, sort of thing. It was it second in the True Achievements vote? It was nominated for
Yeah,
like
the
Game of the
Brexit
Year
vote.
in the Game Awards. It was up for Game of the Year and stuff. And I think I can't remember if I've ever played 6 or 9. I've either got 6 in the head of like what chapter I'm in on that game, and so I definitely want to go back to it at some point. So that's my Xbox pick. My Switch pick, and I had to put this. It was Harvestella.
That's never happening.
Yeah,
I'll
so
tell
that's
you
my
that now. That is not happening. There's more chance of Room Factory 5 happening than that.
Yeah, so because I could have made a list of like 20 Switch games, and looking at my Switch games, that's the one I most probably would play out of like the biggest, like because I have a few download ones. Like I bought that Lunasis platformer, and that's like an hour long, so I could have said that, but that would have been taking a bit of the mix. So I'm saying Harvestella, and that I
Just
do want.
sorry to interrupt you, Pengy, but
Yeah.
all right, Dave.
Yes, mate.
Me and Pengy worked out how many games Chris bought from last year. Well, we get a rough estimate, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah,
But then he didn't play. Just from last year, have a guess.
That you bought and didn't play?
Yeah.
40.
It's quite. It's only including stuff that came out last year. This isn't like
Oh, okay.
retros are.
15.
Oh, you're close. I think we said like it was 14 or 15, didn't we, Chris?
yeah, we got to 14.
Yeah. So Harvestella, like, it's got a lot of competition on shit that came out last year that you also won't play.
Hmm.
So I have no
But-
faith.
But that is my like Switch backlog game. So
No
there.
chance.
No chance. This is what you got. Dum, 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 dum.
You can never say never in the world of WWE, but who knows? Then I've kind of done separate. I've gone for PS4 because I own the PS4 version, even though I have a free upgrade on PS5. But the PS4 like discs I own, Valkyrie Elysium is the backlog PS4 game.
Christ.
That I want to play, like sort of thing. I thought that was the most likely out of the JRPGs that I own on
God, that's
PS4.
damning, yeah, that's the most likely. Dear
So
Lord.
it's like, yeah, so you got like
I was
that
telling as well, Chris. Just looking on how long to beat, 53 hours for the main story.
on Harvestella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a long one, but even last year I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3 at like 68 and
Yeah, but
God
that
of
was like
War-
a big
God of
game,
War
innit?
58 and stuff
That
like
was
that.
like a well-reviewed, like talked about game. I don't know. Is this Harvestella? I don't know.
Yeah, so Harvestella, Valkyrie Elysium on PS4, and then PS5 is basically everything I've bought recently for it.
There's a lot, isn't there? I mean, I know I can't talk, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you we've both bought the same Ease game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the chances that one or both finish that, Craig?
0.
Okay, I disagree, but you have historical evidence for that, so
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so basically all my sort of physical PS5 games are the backlog. So which is quite a lot, but like it's not like 10, it's like Solstice, Siberia, Gotham Knights, and Last of Us. I think it's the 4 physical PS5 games or something I own. So it's those ones. Basically.
I actually own one physical PS5 game at the moment. I've been
so
religiously finishing and selling. Just to make you proud of me, Craig.
yeah.
Okay.
I do think this year, Chris, you should track how many games you buy. I would be so curious for that. You don't have to
Yeah.
go all in and how much money you spend because that would probably give you nightmares. But how many you buy,
Yeah.
including
But I can
retro.
that I can sort of track because I just update my backlog so I can see how many I bought and sort of thing. Anyway, I could just go back and look at that for 2022.
God.
Yeah, yes, sort of thing. But yeah, that's really my sort of my plans. One game on Xbox, one game on Switch, lots, bit of retro with 3DS, and lots on PlayStation.
So I
Is the
suppose.
Switch dead to you now then? Is
No,
it?
no, because this is my problem. Is I know I will buy games, and like I'm already like this month in 12 days' time will be Fire Emblem Engage. I will be playing Fire Emblem Engage. That will get played pretty much right away on the Switch. Thing. And then like February, I know I will most probably play Kirby.
Yeah, the Kirby remakes, the Kirby 2D remake is just too overpriced for what I am into right now. But I can see why. I mean, my question for you really is like, how does the Xbox get downgraded or completely sold this year? Because it's realistically we're going to get new console announcements from all three probably in the next 24 months, right? I think that's fair. I think there will be a slightly altered Series X and a slightly altered PS5, maybe even this year get announced. So you're on, you know what I mean? Like, do you just bite the bullet, sell the Series X and get Series S on the cheap, or
No,
no?
no.
Do you just sell the Series X, or does it just sit there?
It just sits there.
Okay.
He's got to have the. He's got to have the Xbox console. This is a constant in his life, Dave. He's got to have one.
He's got to have it, just not to play.
Yeah.
No, there will be games I want to play on it. That is the thing. Is it Starfield? Is it Redfall? Who knows? But there will be stuff that does come to Xbox that I want to play.
And I suppose the only other questions we always have for you when we do these podcasts, Chris Mangeli, what's the first thing to get purchased in terms of hardware this year?
Oh, it'd be PSVR, wouldn't it?
Could be.
I think PSVR is very high. If he could pre-order it now, he would.
Yes. He's only lying to himself. Like, me and Dave can predict Chris Mangeli like clockwork. Like he's lying. He's in the
book.
Yeah. He's like clockwork. He's saying he's not going to get it. It's bought. It's already bought. The money's already set aside.
Yeah, and it's like the phrase, "Oh, I might not play Switch this year." If there's a Zelda Switch, you'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay.
No, I'm still expecting to play a lot of Switch this year. Like, if Nintendo have a game a month, I'm expecting to, which at the moment they sort of have. They have Fire Emblem, they have Kirby, they have
Bayonetta Origins.
Bayonetta. Nothing in April. May they have Zelda. If they have a game a month, I'm expecting to play at least 12 games on Switch this year.
Okay.
Most probably, and that's just like new games and thing. And there'll be an odd like console exclusive and stuff like that. Like Neon White I played on Switch, so that sort of thing maybe on that comes. So
right, the over under for Chris then, Dave.
Yeah.
When he does buy the PSVR, because we're just going to accept that's an inevitability right now. Does he play it for what was the other one you bought? The Steam Quest Meta nonsense thing?
The Meta Quest 2.
Yeah, I saw one of them in the MT Games in Taunton the other day, and I laughed to myself. Just under it was a Atari Jaguar, and I was like, oh, it's like they've just taken all the Chris stuff and opened a shop.
I think that was like 10 hours worth of use when we said that.
Yeah, possibly.
Was that more or less than the Steam Deck?
Oh, way less. Way more, sorry, way more. Surely.
No, I don't know. So I remember I played.
The fact that you can't immediately tell if you play 10 hours or more of Steam Deck tells you
I mostly
way
did
more than Steam
because
Deck.
Ghostwire Tokyo I played. I want to say I must have played about 8 hours of.
But anyway, the over under Dave. Does the PSVR get more use this year than 10 hours or less?
Oh, so if he buys it, yeah, he'll use it loads.
It's not an if. It's not an if. He's going to buy it. Let's
if
move
he's
on from that.
okay, it's not if he's able to buy it. So if I'm pretty sure he could probably still pre-order it if he.
I can still
properly.
get one on pre-order. But
Yeah,
I see 570.
Yeah, I mean you just do 10 hours of work extra, Chris. Done. But oh yeah, like Chris will use that bitch for content and for easy trophies all year. Because you think he'll play all the big games because he'll want to talk about them, which is what, about 3 or 4, right? Even if he plays them 2 hours, like that still will add up. He'll definitely play more than 10. If the over under is 10 hours or more, or less,
the
sorry.
Call of the Mountain, I think, is rumored to be about 8 hours.
Yeah, if Chris buys it, he'll play. It'll be used more than his Xbox this year. There you go, Craig. That's my over under.
Yeah, I think that's a given. Yeah, I would go over as well.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like it would be like I would even predict that it would be Chris's fucking hardware of the year. Like he'll use it non-stop for about 3 to 6 months, then it will die until something big comes out again for it.
And then they'll sell it.
They'll sell it.
And then the cycle of Pengy starts again.
Mm-hmm. He'll sell it for the Switch 2 that gets announced, and he'll have to prepare himself by literally buying every single thing that's planned for it. Like I'm talking.
Oh yeah, it'd be the PS5
cases,
all over again.
yeah.
Christ, yeah.
Talking cameras, I'm talking a lot.
No, I guess if the Switch 2 got announced, I would just sell my Switch towards the...
Well, that as well.
But then no, Nintendo won't be backwards compatible or something stupid.
They have to make it backwards compatible. We're going to do a whole Nintendo cast edition, but they have to. They
won't. And you two will accept it. You buy it all again.
Oh, Nintendo have got such a grip on my bollocks that if they announce a brand new console, I will buy it and I'll pre-order it and I'll get it day one and I'll book a day off work. Like I'm not even going to lie to you, Craig, and say that's not a thing. Like they're the only ones that I'm like, well, day one I'm there, and I'll play a remake of a game I've played 20 times. I'm there, you know. But that's not coming this year. There's no way that's coming this year. No way.
I doubt it, but I could see
March 2024, man. They're going to do that. Worked for them before. They'll announce it. If it's going to come out next year, it'll get announced in October. But okay, so I think that's some pretty solid year in. What was the over and under on me then, Craig? Because we've done the over and under on you two.
Ooh. Okay. You'd have to trap this though, Dave.
I will.
Does Dave finish more games than he buys this year, Pengy?
No.
Oh, that's brutal. That's a straight no.
I think that's an easy yes.
No, I don't know. I think you'll go for 1 month where you'll suddenly buy like 6 games or something.
Yeah, but then I'm also prone to a month where I batter like 8 games in my backlog.
I think it'd be close. I think you've tried to do it before, haven't you?
Yeah. Last year I got really close because I didn't buy anything for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
So like I got real close. I think I probably did last year, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna go no as well. I'm gonna go no. Wow. I don't believe Dave.
I think I will. So like,
That's
I'll
the challenge. That's the gauntlet then.
So right now,
I want you to prove us wrong, Dave.
I've got 3 games I've bought this year.
Okay.
So I'm quite happy to update you every episode, Craig, if you want. I've bought 3 games so far this year, right? That have arrived, and I will add the other one I've bought that will arrive next week, and I'll beat 4 games, easy. If we're, like, I'm not worried at all.
Right, so for me it was how many Xbox games I buy. For Dave it's does he finish more than he buys, and for Chris it's the over-under of the PSVR when he inevitably buys it. Okay.
What if I don't buy a PSVR?
Then let's not even live in that hypothetical world because you're going to buy it.
Who knows?
Well, we all know.
Yeah.
Right, well, I think that is a perfect time to end the podcast. Thank you. If you've made it this far, let us know in the comments what games and goals you have for the year and if we're going to achieve ours, if they've all been harsh to me as per usual. But thank you for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.